Let's go live with one of my favourite people on here, a board certified dermatologist who is a total star over in America, and if you don't follow her, you need to. Her name is Dr. Ranella Hirsch, and she does the best myth busting on here. She's a laser specialist, a skin health specialist, a skin product specialist. She's just wonderful. I really, really, really love following her on here. And she does really great myth-busting little sort of sound bites that you can dip into that I suspect she shares on TikTok as well, but I'm not on TikTok, so I'm not the person to ask. Let's invite her in. There she is. Just straight through to Cambridge, Massachusetts to chat to her. It's 12 o'clock there, and she's in the middle of clinic. Hello!
Hello! I'm not in the middle of clinic. I'm just back off of a long bit of travels.
Well, last time we were supposed to meet up, I suspect you were stuck in Istanbul.
Istanbul, doesn't that sound romantic? Like I'm having a Casablanca moment. Yeah, so just me and my, 7 gorgeous men. No, it was just a lot of heat and bad airline planning and such. But as it were, I'm just actually back from, so I'm, when you made your announcement of our live, the floodgates opened because I have actually not been on social media for a bit, and the most lovely messages of just, I thought you were dead. No, just been very hard at work on a couple of different things, and traveling and meeting some colleagues and things has been a part of that. So I've just been intensely on the road for a while.
I'm one of those people that likes to live vicariously through people traveling. I'm not one of those people that has FOMO. I just think that's wonderful. Post more. And I can tell by the people coming in here, like Jordan Samuel and Mo Skin, that you are very, very highly respected. And I was saying here, you're one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram. And I would love you to post more, but I understand that you put your patients first, because I just love your soundbite myth busting. And I suspect I'm not on TikTok. Do you share them on TikTok as well?
I should.
All right. I should, but I don't.
Yeah, no, it just a couple of different projects. One sort of came across very quickly, and then one that I've had on the back burner for some years. Both sort of took off at exactly the same time, about 10, 11 months ago. And, in addition to a practice and, the actual children I birthed and am legally responsible for, it's a pretty full plate. So I'm really thrilled because we've been able to make a lot of steps forward with the 2 unrelated projects, but hopefully at some point you'll hear about them there. I continue to work very hard because I really want to try and keep expanding the space. I think there's so many things in the space that go just beyond seeing a dermatologist or just doing skincare. And I think the more that uniquely we can bring to it to expand the space, the better.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I feel like social media is such an important, especially for people like you who are mythbusters and truth tellers, it's such an important space, but it can swallow up your whole life. And then you forget that you actually have a proper job.
Yeah. I mean, when I see the, when I see the impact it can have, it's got the up and the down to it. The up is the ability to educate so many people in a short window. The down, I think, is something I'm grateful to people like you for, is understanding that not everything is a 3-second soundbite. I mean, a lot of things really do require that bit of nuance, that bit of depth. And it's challenging because you can't always get in there with it. In life, I don't do anything simply. I'm just a difficult person. I was a difficult birth. I'm a difficult person. All of these wonderful things.
Well, I love you. I love following you.
Very nice.
You're amazing. And I remember asking you originally to do this probably about 2 years ago, and you were horrified at the thought. And I was like, no, don't feel self-conscious. Those in the know love you. And I can tell by the people following you here and joining live, and the people that then slid into my DMs to say how amazing you were, that you have a hardcore audience of very important people.
They are just the nicest people, I must say. I
agree.
Nicest people.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, cross them and start promoting clean beauty. I think you'll find another side to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been very blessed because I've heard and been told so many things about social media, which I've assiduously spent my entire career and life avoiding. If I'm at a restaurant and you're taking pictures of your food, I will be giving you dirty looks for the next 35 minutes. Eat it. You know, this phenomenon now where you go to a concert and all you're watching are a bunch of people taping the concerts as opposed to, you know, I don't know, sitting there and enjoying the music. So yes, I think I'm just an old, you know, fuddy-dud. And I'm not actually that old.
No, I was
very
going to say you're a
antiquated with some of
young
this
person,
stuff.
probably with an old soul, which is
Oh,
why
well,
I
that's
like
a
you so much.
compliment.
I am
That is a compliment.
I am a genuinely old person. So for me, social media is not my natural place. I've been a journalist for the better part of 32 years. And I love long form content. And I agree that Instagram, because of the rise of TikTok, is trying to kill long form content. But I feel like my audience love it. Hence the fact they're so excited to have you here. So this is 10 out of 10. It doesn't have to be 10 products. I'm sure you've got them all with you.
So I should
Dive
probably
straight
disclose. Let me just disclose here for a brief moment, because I should probably warn you about what's about to happen. So my staff is brilliant. And when I was starting to grab a few favorites off the shelves, they sort of looked at me and made the point that in practice, I almost never will say to someone, here, use this. It really works more, obviously therapeutics, yes, because that's kind of what they're paying me the big money to do. But, you know, when it comes to skincare, it's really about finding categories, finding things that could work for you. And then it's really here's the things that I want you to look for. Now go find the ones that you love. So you're much more likely to leave my office with a baggie of 8 or 9 samples, all of which are Renell approved. But now you go. And remember that skincare, yes, there's a hygienic component, of course there's a health component. We often lose sight of like the fact that it's just supposed to be pleasurable and enjoyable. And part of what I think we'll hit on today is I frequently trick people into skincare just by getting them to love it. And that's really a big part of it. And just meeting people where they are at in terms of what their desires are for skincare and what have you. So, you know, I've got lots of people who just aren't going to do well with, you know, a lot of steps. Okay. I've got a lot of people where a good scent will get them. I've got a lot of people where making it easier to put on makeup, and that goes along. So anyway, the reason I make this point, she says, maybe realizing we've gone too far, I've got 6 of these bins for each category. So this is cleansers, babe. I've got cleansers, I've got extras, I've got SPF, I've got retinoids, I've got hydration. So I don't know what we'll get to. Jump in and tell me. I'll give you whatever I want, and I can just, but the idea was I am just going to show you things I recommend for different things. A few of my favorites are thrown about here, and just a few tips and tricks I give along the way. I'm sure you'll run out of time. I may have started with the fact that I'm a complicated and difficult human being. I like to deliver on that promise. And that's basically it. Should we start with cleansing? Because that seems like,
go for it.
All right. Skincare foreplay. Cleansing. Here we go. So,
skincare foreplay.
Oh, that's like an original Renellism. So, I mean, I love cleansing because both I'm just, you know, the ultimate like nerd of skincare, and also just that it really is this beautiful hybrid of, right, like skincare and elegance and the enjoyment of the experience, but it's also the science, right? Like ultimately it's about health, it's about cleaning stuff off. And, you know, it's such a gateway drug into skincare. If you can get someone so to me, cleansing is really important. I really like the idea of an enjoyable experience because it's very hard to just cleanse and then stop. So if I can get you into my lair with an enjoyable cleansing experience, very great things, you know, can happen. So I'll start with some of my favorites and my basics. I recommend to people who just want something generic. I'm sorry, your people know this, but cleansing is really important because you're trying to remove the kind of the day, the sunscreen, the product, whatever you're wearing. If we just put water on our face, that won't remove those things that are not what we call water soluble. So that's where the entirety of 2-step cleansing, or, you know, the different kinds of cleansing. For general all-purpose cleansing, I think my 3 go-tos, the number one that every dermatologist has loved forever and a day is plain old, unsexy, but does the job, 8 ounces, $9, Vanicream. I have now been able to find it almost globally. A couple places I haven't looked, but it's fantastic. It does it really, really well. If you want to get a little more sexy, you know, you can't really beat your Lipikar, good quality stuff. And a more recent player in the game that I love also is Aveeno. I'm specific to the Common Restore. has feverfew, really well done feverfew. Their process is really elegant. This is one of those examples where when people tell me you have to spend a lot of money on product, I like to just sort of wig this out and similar.
Love that.
If you're trying to take off makeup, another option, if you're not someone who likes an oil-based product, micellar water. Oh, I should also warn you, since I've been traveling, these piles have gotten bigger in the last 3 months because, you know, you can get stuff outside of the US. Wonderful stuff, does a great job of taking off makeup, breaking it down, and then you can follow up with any of the ones we just mentioned. If you want to get a little sexier with cleansing, I have a certain soft spot. Again, my gateway product that I have all the time. I actually really like this brand. I shouldn't even say brand, this product in particular. I find a lot of the Balm cleansers to be very greasy. I don't personally like them, and that's from someone with super dry skin. I really like this one. And they have 2 limited edition, apple and cherry. They are intoxicating to me. I put this on, I'm committed for the night of doing skincare, no matter how tired I am. So I really, really like this. It is not cheapy, cheap. It's probably a little bit more like, it's like 25 American for this bottle, but this lasts me a while.
That was my gateway drug into balm cleansers.
Isn't it just, love it. I mean, someone sent me one, and I mean, it was the Versed one, and everyone was like, it was wonderful. I thought it was Vicks Vapor Rub. It sounded horrific. I just absolutely hated it. So, you know, this to me is a good one. If you want to get a little bit,
green one originally, you know, the classic green.
I liked the green one, and then I went to this, and this was like, you know, just like a major promotion.
How'd you sweet apple?
Sweet apple. But here's another one that I also just happened to. This is like a Ranella personal favorite. It's, if you're going by price, this is not inexpensive. It's like $35, although I find it lasts me until the end of time. This is the Youth to the People Kale and green tea spinach vitamins. Do I have a great deal of belief in all of the claims made? But it lathers in the nicest, gentlest way. It smells like, this may not sound appealing, but I hope somebody will get it, like almost like fresh spinach when you take it out of the garden and cut it. It is just this really lovely, very earthy kind of smell in a good way. And I just happen to love this. My last favorite, if you're going to splurge, because it's wonderful. I just tried it for the first time. I have a new bottle here in the office. I have one open at home. It really is nice. It's Sophie's Cleanser. So this is also, it's a little bit more not horrific. So this is about 4 ounces. This is about $35. Again, lasts until forever. For people with super dry skin.
Sorry,
Sophie Pavitt is this fantastic esthetician in New York.
Okay.
And I run frightened from some estheticians who decide, you know, there's some geniuses like Jordan Samuel and Sophie, but there are others. And let us leave it at that. This is a beautiful product. This really does a very nice job of almost like a hybrid. It will take off makeup, but it also leaves you really, really sort of just nice and juicy. So I will often have this be what I use in the evening. So this is just another kind of Ranella personal favorite because it happens to be lovely. The one that I don't have here, which I'm trying to think, no, I think this is enough. I got plenty. I mean, I could really keep you here all month. What else should we do? Okay. Are we plowing? Because I can probably get through all this.
We're plowing, but
hustle.
I love
Okay.
This. Can I just say, this is like, I'm mainlining you now.
Okay.
I'm loving it. And also Jordan Samuels is laughing as well.
Okay. There's like a 16-step treatment program. It's like Ranella Narcan. Okay. Speaking of Jordan Samuel, okay, the product that I think made me think very seriously about marrying Jordan Samuel, with immense respect to Ben and my husband, both very lovely gentlemen, the Aftershow body cleanser is just, I mean, there really would be no reason for heroin, because this you smell and you have somehow just moved to Sicily in the middle of your nasty little bathroom. This is so beautiful. So I have a soft spot, which will be a running theme through this nightmare, of citrus. My husband's joke, because, you know, if you're married 20 years, you're allowed to say certain things. But if it smells like dishwashing detergent, Ranella will like it. And that is a remarkably safe guidepost in terms of scents that I like. I lean very much into citrus and that sort of smell. I don't really go for florals or anything at all. Don't tell me anything otherwise. People have tried. God bless them. I am fully cooked. This is not going to be redone.
I'm
but this
either
product
herbal
is
or citrus, but don't give me rose. Just
yeah.